Hey everybody, I'm thrilled that you're here today. It's a beautiful day, almost the end of July, which is good. It's kind of overcast and a little bit of humidity today, so hopefully it won't rain. I plan on getting outside a little bit later in the day because I have a couple hours open where I'm going to be able to enjoy it. One of the things that's become most important to me in life anymore or the world anymore is that I make sure that I take time to do things that keep me in balance. If I don't do that, then I'm no help to anybody. I think that's one of the foundational pieces of what I believe. If I don't do the things that make me feel good, if I don't do the things, hey Carrie, if I don't do the things that help me feel balanced and healthy, then I'm of no use to anyone, whether it's my partner, or my business, or my friends, or my family. I'm no good to anybody. So if you don't know who I am, hey Margie, I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert, and my specialty is helping women with burnout and helping avoid burnout, or if it's happening, how to navigate around it. So today's topic is how to avoid having an emotional meltdown. Now, if you're like all of us really caring, sensitive women that are out there, the world's gotten very, very stressful and very hard to navigate all of these crazy emotions that are going on around us. You know, people who used to be able to kind of keep it together are now completely blowing up. You know, people who were manageable now are becoming toxic. People who had a handle on things are losing a handle on things, and you are probably getting the fallout from it. And although you probably have some really good things in place that have always worked for you to help you find your balance again, and you probably have some good spiritual practices too to help you find your balance. Hey Lisa, we all have to evolve and stretch just a little bit more because this level of bombardment and a psychic attack, an emotional attack. Good morning, Lisa. An emotional attack are they're everywhere. You can't really escape. You know, I'm having conversations with other women who are in healing professions, and they're all saying the same thing. That the people in general, the majority of the people out there are really having a hard time managing how they feel and behaving like an adult. So let's say it's starting to get to you. Let's say the toxicity, the negativity, all of it is starting to press on you, and you feel yourself starting to rise, that anxiety or that anger or that depression is starting to rise. Or maybe it just, triggered immediately because somebody did that thing which brings up that disrespect or the hurt or the anger, that you've been kind of keeping in check, and managing. So let's say, I'll give an example. Let's say you're just waking up and you get a text from somebody and it's immediately aggressive. It's immediately confrontational and looking to start a fight. Let's say that happens. No, hi, how are you doing? It's a great day. I hope you have a great day. It's all about, whatever point they want to make. And this is happening more and more. We go on Facebook looking for, kindness and nice pictures and socialization, and we get these random attacks out of nowhere. So let's say you just got triggered, or you're about to be triggered. You're at the end of your rope. You're at your edge. There are 4 main things that I do when I feel that happening to me. One is I change my external environment. No matter what it is. Hey, Teresa, no matter what it is, what environment I'm in, whether it's bed or whether it's work or whether it's outside, I immediately get up and I change my external environment. Maybe I'll change the temperature. Maybe I'll change the essential oil that's in there. But we need to do a pattern interrupt. We need to interrupt the train we're on that's about to take us where we really don't want to go. And so the first thing is change your external environment. Okay, when you do that, that will help you change gears and avoid that meltdown. Here's the second thing that I do. I change my internal environment. I do something that makes me feel differently. So that's when changing the temperature. Maybe I'll go from inside to outside. Maybe I'll turn the air conditioning on in my car. Maybe I'll go into a sauna or steam room. Something to change my internal world. I will drink water. I will take chamomile tea. I will do something that changes my internal world. It can be as easy as, sucking on a lozenge, but it gives you a different felt sense. It once again does that pattern interrupt for how we're starting to feel and to break out of that obsessive fight or flight mindset that we may be in. The third thing that I do, hey Dina, good to see you. The third thing that I do is I release the energy that is building up in my body. So some people use tapping. If you're not familiar with EFT, it's tapping on points to release energy. I prefer, because it's more functional for me, because it works so much better, is I do a kind of a body scan. Where am I feeling this? Am I feeling it in my heart? Which a lot of times I am. I'll feel my anger or my buildup, my emotional buildup in my heart. Maybe I feel it in one of my other organs, my liver, my stomach, my kidneys. Maybe I feel it in my back or my knees. So what I do is you need to release that energy. If you don't know, emotions are chemicals. Hey Kathy, good to see you. Emotions are chemicals. And those emotions, especially when we don't process through them and we don't flush them out, they accumulate in different parts of our body. And then when we're angry or when we're triggered, they flare up. So what you can do is you can tell your body to release these chemicals, these emotions back into your bloodstream. Because when you're feeling that pain or sensitivity or discomfort, it's because it's inflammation. And the best way to reduce inflammation fast is to touch and press the part of you that hurts. So if it's your heart, and typically for me it's my heart, right next to the breastbone, on either side of the breastbone, I'll touch and I'll hold. I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to pay attention to it. I don't have to, tell it anything if I don't want to. I can just hold it. And the act of holding those points, especially if you just hold it for, 3 to 5 minutes, don't be moving around to other spots. Don't be losing patience or attention. Hold it. And when you do, you'll notice that the sensitivity starts to go down. And when the sensitivity starts to go down, you start to relax. So you do that body scan. You find out what part of your body is calling to you, what part is uncomfortable, and hold it and press it. And if you can't hold it and press it, use a tennis ball. Let's say it's your kidneys and your arm doesn't stretch back that far. Use a tennis ball. I've used a garbage can when I was waiting at O'Hare Airport and I had to stand waiting to board the plane. You find different things. Maybe they're doorknobs or sides of your desk or things along those lines. But you hold it and press it. And by doing that, and any pressure that isn't too much, but is just enough that it feels a little sensitive and uncomfortable, that will help release that energy so that it'll dial everything down. Okay, the fourth thing that I do to avoid an emotional meltdown is I shift my focus. So when you start to feel a little bit better because you've been pressing, you got outside, you started sucking on a lozenge, or an Altoid or something, and you start to do that, I start to shift my thoughts someplace else. This is where something like music is really helpful, or a mantra, or reading a book, or reading affirmational passages, something along those lines. It starts to shift the focus of your thoughts. And when you do that, your body's able to dial down, get it out of fight or flight, and you can process through whatever's going on. Because when you're about to trigger or you are triggering, you are not in a rational place and you can't problem solve what's going on. You just can't. You're not in the right state of mind. If you want to process through whatever it is you're feeling, you have to get out of that crisis state. You have to dial it down just a little bit. And then when you do that, the aha moments will come. The answers, the solutions to what you're looking for will magically appear because you're no longer in that intense emotional state. So, okay, 4 things that you do when you're feeling, when somebody triggers you, when you're about to have an emotional meltdown and punch somebody in the face because they totally deserve it, or when you're about to lose it yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally. Maybe your guts have just locked up because a bank statement, didn't look the way that it was supposed to look, or somebody stole your identity, or you just got bad news, or someone randomly attacked you. Change your environment, get out of whatever physical environment that you're in. Change your internal environment. Do something that makes you feel different, physically feel different. Release the chemicals, the emotional energy, that charge. You can either do EFT and tapping, or for me, I prefer, finding the part of my body that's flaring up, whether it's my heart, whether it's my stomach, finding those tender points and holding them for 3 to 5 seconds. And then I do something that focuses my thoughts someplace else. This morning, I focused my thoughts on my feet, because I said, what? I need to focus on a different part of my body. When I was a kid, I would get migraine headaches because of my allergies, and I could always feel where the pain was in my head. And we didn't have, a lot of tools to help with migraines when I was a kid. And so my go-to every single time was focus my thoughts to the part of me that still feels good. So if your heart hurts, focus on your feet. If your face is locked up, maybe focus on your fingers. There's nothing more magical than focusing on your felt sense, focusing on something different to break you out of that right on edge feeling. And once you start to break out of it, then your system relaxes, you're able to get clarity, you're able to make good decisions. You don't do things that will lose your relationship, that will lose your job, that will land you in jail, that will create more drama for your life than you need. Okay? This is how you avoid that. And the critical piece is once you dial it down, once you avoid the crisis, you need to take the time and process through what happened. There's a very biological reason for this. If you let yourself process through the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that happened and start to make connections, what it does is it opens up the doors so your body can flush out everything that made you angry, everything that made you hurt and upset. And so it flushes it out, and it doesn't have as much control over you anymore. It doesn't hijack your body and your emotions in an instant. And so you're less likely to get to that edge, to have those emotional meltdowns in the future when you take that time to process it through. Okay? So your homework assignment for today is when you start to feel yourself amp up, either because of the world or the environment or whatever it may be, and you're about to be on edge, I want you to do those 4 things. Change your external environment, change your internal environment, release the energy, and shift your thoughts. I want you to practice and then get back to me and let me know how it's working for you. Let me know how it's turning out, okay? So, if you love this, like, comment, because it really gets the information out there and it gets us all coming together as a community. Because right now we are so disconnected, we are so adversarial that we have to have a core community that we can come together and be safe and kind and supportive and help each other self-actualize, okay? So that's your homework. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I know you can do it, and I'm excited to hear about your results. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Ooh, come on. You get me a little bit